Hey, and welcome back all my stretching friends. If this is your first time here, my name is Alex and today I've prepared the coolest video ever. We are going to talk about 5 tips to make stretching hurt less because let's be honest, it is painful and there is no magical tip that will take all the pain away. However, there are a few things we can do to make it hurt less. So the first tip is to warm up. Very simple, but it is a very effective tip. Stretching stiff and cold muscles is always more painful. If we can get the blood flowing through our muscles a little bit, create a good connection between our brain and the muscles that are going to be stretched, it does make it a little bit less painful. And remember, if this video is helpful to you, please consider liking it just because that really helps me here. Moving on, the second tip is to pre-stretch. Pre-stretching, or however you want to call that, is just allowing our bodies to get used to being in the stretch. So instead of jumping straight into our splits or straight into your back bend, it is very beneficial to do some lunge stretches, to hamstring stretches. Give them time, stretch up 70% of maximum, 80% of maximum before we push into that 100. The third tip is actually that our bodies do get desensitized to pain as we stretch. So the more you stretch, the less it's going to hurt. So if you're just at the beginning of your journey, it will get better. It will always be painful, but it will get better. The fourth tip is don't stretch your legs every day of the week. I have not found any research that supports this theory, but from my experience and my clients' experience, it is always nicer to have at least one day of a break so your muscles can recover. So if you stretch your legs on a Monday, have Tuesday off or stretch your back on a Tuesday and then stretch your legs again on a Wednesday, just because this little day of break will make you a little bit less stiff and less tired for your next leg stretching day, and it does make it a little bit less painful. And the fifth and final tip is to breathe and relax. As simple as it sounds, the newest theory about what is happening to our bodies when we stretch is that our muscles actually don't get longer. There's no change going on in there apart from our brain allowing our muscles to elongate the cells that already are there a little bit more. And this is kind of a bit of a complicated concept, but I talk a little bit more about it in this video right here. So based on this theory, understanding that our brain is preventing us from stretching because it is afraid of us getting injured, it makes sense for us to try to relax and allow our brain to understand that the position we are in is actually not dangerous for us. And these are all the tips that I have for us today. If you have any tips that you think work really well for you, leave them in the comments. I've also left one tip in the comments that I use a lot and think is absolutely magical and works really well for me. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.